Today we're going to talk about the Nemesis and Ventris by Source Audio. They are the best delay and reverb on the market in my estimation. They've been on my board from the get-go. I'm going to walk you through some sounds that I use all the time. So I have everything running through a G2 switcher, and these pedals work great if you're doing any MIDI switching. My G2 just recalls the preset so I don't have to do the floor dance, and it's really great for people who have a more advanced setup. So let's just run through some of the basic tones first. What I use 90% of the time from the Ventris is either a spring or a plate, and from the Nemesis is either a tape, digital or analog delay for my sort of normal sounds. So let me just show you the sound I have dry. I'm going through the Sewer Badger, and I'm running currently through a Steel String by Vertex for some extra boost. Now here's that spring on top. Just adds a little bit of that ambiance. Now I'm going to turn it off and turn on the tape so you can hear the tape delay. Pretty cool, right? Now together, this is all about how they sound together. These two are great units to use in conjunction. Check out this sound. Now I run them through the effects loop, and something that I really like is how they sound with higher gain settings. Check this out. I'm going to turn on an Ultraphonix by Vertex on this sound, and it's going to sound like this. Pretty great sounding. Okay, now another huge advantage of the Ventris is that you can recall two reverb sounds on one setting. So as you can see with this dial, right now it's turned to the A side, but when I flick it to the B side, right now I have it set to be a swell, and it sounds like this. So it's kind of like a delayed reverb, right? Now I can have both the spring and that swell together. Super ambient if you want it to be. You can mix two reverb sound and a delay sound per setting. That's a really useful feature. Now let's go to the next bank. Right here I have the plate reverb mixed with the analog delay. So let's first of all hear just the plate. So from dry to this. Now let's sprinkle the delay on top. Let's hear that with a cleaner sound, right? Sounds like this. Here's a more overdriven sound with that Ultraphonix again. Awesome sound. So now we're gonna go into the more soundscapey side of these pedals. So I'm gonna recall the shimmer setting from the Ventris. Now I really like this mixed with some swelling, longer chords, less linear playing. Pretty sick. Now, I'm going to add the shifter delay on top of it to get really wacky. So these two kind of complete each other, right? The next sound is going to be the offspring on the Ventris mixed with the helix on the Nemesis. So let's first of all check out the offspring. The offspring is a sort of rhythmic verb that sounds springy. Now, the cool thing about rhythmic verbs, if you're not really into just using soundscapes where you hit one thing, like I don't really have a use for that in my music, but if you use those sounds to swell into, you get rid of the attack and it doesn't sound like that, it just all blends together like. Holdsworthian, right? Let's check out the helix alone. What does it do? It sounds like this. Sort of shimmerish. I have it set with the time pretty low, and together they create this really interesting texture. Check this out. The next set of sounds are the E-dome on the Ventris and the reverse delay on the Nemesis. Now, E-dome is, to me, really that Jeff Becky, huge hall-type reverbs that just sort of excel for playing like ballads, very dramatic reverb. Check this out. If I really want to make that a little more dramatic, I can add reverse delay to it, which sounds like this without the Ventris. And with it, pretty cool. Now I'm going to show you just a couple more sounds. This is back to the normal side. A setting I really like is the room on the Ventris. Just sounds like this. Nice room. Check out the difference from dry to room. Now I'm going to just add digital delay to this sound. The last pair of sounds I want to talk to you about is the hall on the Ventris mixed with the slapback on the Nemesis. Now, I don't use a lot of slapback, it's just a widening effect, but it really works well with big reverbs. I don't really like that rockabilly sound on its own. But check this out, the hall just is great, big ambiances, again, that Jeff Beck vibe. Right? Just... here's that slapback on its own. Now, that's not a sound I ever use alone, but check this out in the context of both of them together with a hall reverb. So in conclusion, the Ventris and the Nemesis are really a match made in heaven. They're great pedals, super versatile. We didn't even go into the fact that you can hook them up to your computer and control them through the app, Neuro, that Source Audio made, and control all the hidden parameters. You're not just bound to the 6 knobs that are on the face of the pedal. You can control every parameter. I really prefer those two rather than the Collider, which is sort of the combined version that Source Audio made, especially because with the Ventris you get the 2 reverbs together, which is super useful if you're trying to get like a spring and a hall or something like that. There's so many textures that these separate units a lot. Also the spillover features when you're using a switcher are great when you have the 2. Just worth your time, worth your money, and definitely check it out if you're a serious player. Hope you guys like it. Subscribe to the channel, hit the button, ring the bell, and we'll see you next time.